Yo, what's up everybody? Holding Ice with you here, bringing you Kimetsu no Yaiba's Demon Slayer anime review, episode 18, titled A Forged Bond. This was a very heavy-packed, action-packed episode. It continued with Tanjiro and Inazuki trying to fight the father spider demon, and they cannot cut him. And it came to this one point where they decided to kind of run, and the father of course is chasing them. And Tanjiro came up with the idea to cut a tree and let it fall on him. And it falls on him successfully. And he goes for this new move that we haven't seen. I guess it's his finisher. It's called the 10th form. And he was about to do it, but father got out with the tree bark and slapped Tanjiro far away. And all we hear is Tanjiro screaming, "Inazuki, when I come back, please stay alive. Do it, whatever you have to do, stay alive. Make sure you stay alive. This guy is one of the 12 demons." And he's screaming this out really, really loud to, Inazuki. And Inazuki, he's in shock, like, wow, he went far. And then, the father started to attack him, and that was a whole nother situation there. And we have them fighting, going back and forth. But as we see Tanjiro flying through the air, he kind of stumbles, and he used second form of his water wheel, which the water wheel technique is actually one of the most common techniques he uses a lot. And he uses that to crash for his landing. But he's pretty far from the area. But then he hears a little girl crying and screaming and saying, "Stop it." And when he goes to check up on what it is, it's actually a little girl from last episode who was screaming for her father. She's actually being attacked by her brother. The same demon brother that was actually threatening the mom. So, he's cutting her up, and they don't explain why, but Tanjiro steps in and was like, "Isn't she your ally?" And he was like, "Ally? That's such a crummy word. No, she's my family, my little sister, and this has nothing to do with you." And he was like, "Regardless if it's family or ally, you shouldn't treat those close to you as garbage. If you're allies, the true form of an ally is you guys share a bond. So you guys should be able to, resonate with each other." And he was like, "We're not like y'all, Demon Slayer, people." And as they going back and forth talking, Tanjiro kind of said something that really irked him. He was like, "You guys need to forge a better bond, because you guys had a fake one." And this irked him real bad. But then another Demon Slayer Corp member came up from out of nowhere, and he was like, "Stay out of this, kid. I want to take this victory for myself, because us higher ups, we get paid more money for taking out demons." So this kid who just cared about money, apparently, was trying to fight the guy, but the guy was really, really ticked off, and he just threw a spiderweb at the guy. And this human, after having the spiderweb touch him, he got ripped apart into little tiny pieces of meat and just fell. And Tanjiro was shocked. He was like, "Wow, one of those straight up spiderwebs was able to rip him apart like this. I couldn't even see that attack coming." Then the guy made a whole bunch of spiderwebs, and he looks at Tanjiro and he was like, "Will you dare repeat what you just said?" And Tanjiro, as the boss as he is, I have to admit, he's becoming one of my favorite protagonist characters of all time. He comes out of nowhere and he gets up and he's like, "Yeah, sure, I repeat it as many times as you want. You need to forge a better bond with your sister." And I'm like, yo, Tanjiro has no chill, and I'm really loving his character. But as these two continue to talk and scrap it out, we switch over to Zenitsu. And this is when I get really, really upset, as you see on my thumbnail. Zenitsu is on the floor, of course, crying, and he's about to bleed out, and his breath is slowing down. And it came to this one point where he actually closed his eyes, and he was about to give up, but he heard the voice of his teacher in his head, screaming at him over and over, "Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up." And then he started thinking of Tanjiro and Nezuko, and he stops and he opens his eyes. And then Shinobu comes, because we find out Shinobu and Ginro are both here. And she comes, and this is what irks me. She comes, and her kimono kind of spreads open like a butterfly, and she flies down gracefully. And she just goes over his body, and she's not soft-spoken, and she's like, "Yo, are you okay?" And I'm like, you see him with a twisted arms and legs, which means they're broken. He's looking up straight to the moon crying. His veins are popping out, and he's bleeding from his eyes and his mouth. And you're gonna ask him, is he okay? Really? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out he's not okay. You can just look at him and you can tell he's in despair. and I just got so upset. I'm not sure that's just her personality and she's sarcastic like that, or is she really that dumb, but that kind of got me upset. Then we switch over to Inazuki fighting father, and he's actually able to cut his arm. Since he has 2 blades, he thought about it. Why am I trying to be a coward, and why am I being infected by Tanjiro's germs? I don't think, I just do. So he reverted back to his old fighting style of just attacking wildly. And he took both his swords, and he stuck one sword on the guy's arm, but he took the other sword and he started beating it down like a mallet on an iron blade, like smithing it basically. And he was actually able to do this to break the guy's arm, and he made father run away. And as the father spider demon's running away, he just gloats like, haha, I cut you. And then he starts to chase after him, and as he's chasing after him, he kind of loses him, and then he realizes that he's up in a tree hiding. And he's like, come down here so I can slay you. And before the father actually went down and slayed him, he actually reshed his skin, and he kind of like, I guess, demon-evolved. I guess that's what I'm calling it for now. But he went through like this metamorphosis of a transformation, and through this metamorphosis of a transformation, he got bigger and bulkier and more eyes, and he grew even stronger, and his aura was overwhelming Inazuki, and Inazuki just dropped his guard, and he was like, I'm going to die. His pressure alone is beating me into submission. But he remembers Tanjiro words screaming at him earlier, saying not to give up and don't die. And he remembering the old lady from back in the hotel that was saying, I wish you good luck in battle, and may you stay alive and live a long life. And he also remembers this one lady with long black hair holding a baby, which I assume that was probably him as an infant, and she's looking at him crying. And he remembers these 3 images, and he snaps out of it. And he tries to fight back, but he gets completely decimated, and he's getting choked out, and you see blood coming out from his mask. And before he gets to die, he gets saved by Ginro. Or I'm not sure if it's Gyro or Ginro. It's one of the two. I think it's Gyro or Jiro, but I'm gonna just keep going with Ginro. But Ginro comes in, and he actually is able to cut the guy's arm off with ease. No problem. He didn't even get to use no technique. He just did it with pure force. He was just able to slice that arm right off. Unfortunately, father grew it back and went to attack him, and then he used a water breathing technique. So that's kind of cool. The fact that he has water breathing technique means that he probably didn't train under the same master as Tanjiro, but maybe someone similar to him, or maybe the same master, who knows. But that was pretty cool to know he has water breathing technique as well. That's his element as well, it was water. So that's pretty cool. And Inazuki just completely shocked and devastated, and was like, wow, this guy is powerful and he's strong. And also in Inazuki's flashback, we see that lady with the black hair that was crying was his mother, and she was like, Inazuki, please forgive me. You must be the one to survive. You're gonna be only the survivor. And then she like kind of dropped him off a cliff. So I'm not sure what's up with Inazuki, that he comes from like a powerful royal family of humans or half-breed humans or something. Like, what's up with his backstory? That's some really good foreshadowing. I would like to know more about that. And then we get back to the final scene, Tanjiro fighting the brother. Now, a couple of episodes ago, they made us believe that the mother spider was one of the 12 demons in the forest, because we knew there was one in there. But then we found out that her kids were stronger and the husband was stronger, and we assumed that the husband was one of the 12. And Tanjiro has been saying that through the whole episode, that he's one of the 12. But I don't believe it's the father or the mother. I believe it's the child that Tanjiro is fighting. Because Tanjiro specifically states he has an aura like none of other demons that he ever fought. Especially compared to the mother and father spider demons that he fought. So most likely this kid is actually the endgame boss. And as Tanjiro was fighting him, Tanjiro went in for a slash, and his blade got cut by a web, and the thread just kept on going to his face, and the episode ends. So we're not sure what's going to happen to Tanjiro. Is that going to hit him to kill him? Is that going to badly hurt him? Is he going to be able to evade it? What's going on? I don't know, but this was a really, really hype episode. A lot of fighting and foreshadowing was going on. I'm happy that we get to see Gyro again, and since we haven't seen him since episode, what? 1? I mean, he made like 2-3 more cameos since then, but they were just a couple of seconds and just, flash off. And here he actually had time to shine, and we get to see the difference between rookies like Inazuki, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro, and then the elites, which is Shinobu and Ginro. So that's some pretty sweet stuff, seeing how powerful they are. And also I wonder, again, is this child, the boy, the oldest out of all the children, is he the real 12th demon of the 12 moons? I most likely believe it is him. We haven't got clarification, but it has to be him most likely, because the father died and the mother died, and one of the brothers left. One of the brothers died as well, so he's the only one left in the sister. And we know it can't be the sister. She seems to be the weakest, besides the mother who just passed. So most likely he is one of the 12 demons. And one of the other things I've been thinking about, and I didn't want to say it in my past 3 reviews or 4, but what the heck is going on with Nezuko? It's been nighttime for like the past 3 to 4 episodes. She should have enough rest. She should be able to come out and fight. Why haven't she come out and do anything? Are they saving it for next week episode? Maybe she comes out and she saves Tanjiro, and they both fight together against him? Maybe throwing that theory out there. Maybe that's why she hasn't come out yet. But that's been another thing that's kind of upsetting me, is that I said Nezuki, my fault. No, Tanjiro's sister, Nezuko, that she hasn't done nothing these past 3 to 4 episodes, and it's been nighttime, and they're fighting high-level demons. She should be able to sense that and come out and want to fight with, her brother. So that's kind of weird that she hasn't come out. I wonder why they're saving her. Maybe they're saving her, like I said, to save her brother, or maybe she's not going to be used for this arc. Who knows? But another thing that brings up the question is, how is Tanjiro gonna fight? His blade is broken. Same thing with Inazuki. Both his blades are broken. So those two are done. I don't think they're gonna be able to fight no more because their blades are broken. So how are they gonna fight if they do fight, and how are they gonna get their blade repair? And when it comes to Zenitsu, his blade's intact, but he's badly hurt and can't move. So technically all 3 of our main casts are down. All we have left is Shinobu, Giyuu, and maybe Nezuko if she comes out and fight. But that's all we really have. But yeah, that was the episode, guys. Episode 18 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Really great episode, really great stuff. Can't wait for next week. This is episode 18, so I believe we have 6 episodes left until we're done, because this is supposed to be a 24 episode series. So, but yeah, this is some great stuff. I can't wait for next week. But that's all I have for you guys. Tell me what you like and didn't like, and tell me how you felt about the whole mother-brother dynamic and situation, and what you guys are gonna think what happened with Tanjiro. Is he going to live? Is he gonna die? Is he gonna gain some like power-up transformation? Is Nezuko gonna save him? Or is it gonna be Ginro who comes and save him again, like in episode 1? What's gonna happen? But that's all I have for you. Peace on. Have a good one.